Hello and welcome to Homestand NFL. I'm your host, Sarah Zed, with Justin Pooney and Jelani Goodridge. And we're going to talk about Tua. So last time we spoke, we actually weren't sure if Tua was going to be playing again since his concussion. But it sounds like it's confirmation that he's not going to be playing for the next game. What do you think, Justin? Do you think this is a good move?
It's a smart move for Tua's career long-term health-wise, but in the immediate future, we know that the Dolphins are done. And it's unfortunate because this team, and I thought this team could have a chance to go to the AFC Championship games, right? I said it, right? Because when they won that 8-game win streak and they were rolling with Tua, this team was very dangerous, explosive offense. They have all the weapons. Tua was playing at an MVP. He was in the MVP discussions, right? And it's hard to see because this team has a lot of talent. I'm a really firm believer in the Dolphins. I thought, now they're going back to Buffalo, play Buffalo for the third time this year, second time in Buffalo with inclement weather. I felt that the Dolphins got a chance if they're fully healthy. They're not fully healthy at the most important position. I'm glad, though, that Tua's, longevity of his career and his life and his personal health has been taken care of and been the number one priority as it should be. But in the immediate future for the Dolphins, they're done.
Yeah, it sucks because this 2-7 matchup was actually going to be very interesting had he been playing, right? And you mentioned it. When they were in Buffalo the first time, they almost won that game. Yeah. And remember, they already beat Buffalo in Miami. So you never know. If Tua was healthy for this matchup, this could have been a game where, Buffalo could maybe lose. But that is not going to happen. Now we understand Buffalo's probably going to have this is like essentially a bye week, in my opinion. It's sad.
I don't know.
I think so. Because
you're still going to be cognizant of guys like Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. And
yeah, but Skylar Thompson.
I mean, they could.
There's absolutely no way.
You have to give him a puncher's chance.
Not even. Why? I'm not giving him a puncher's chance. Why? Because I saw what happened last week. Okay, against the Jets, who have a pretty nice defense. Okay,
right.
He couldn't do anything. They were struggling all game long to get any points on the board. And now you're playing Buffalo in Buffalo with that crowd, with what happened with DeMar Hamlin. They're just it's a different environment. So unfortunately, I don't expect the Dolphins to do much. And, it is upsetting because, the Dolphins were one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Right. When they were having Tua ball out and had that offense going crazy. McDaniel, obviously, as head coach, he was in the Coach of the Year talks. So, when we're talking about the health factor of this, of course you don't want him to play. I didn't really want him to play because I want him to be good for the future, right? And that's a question now. Do the Dolphins, believe that they could have Tua moving forward? Right, with the questions that with his injuries, I don't know. They might need to look for another guy just because of that fact. It sucks, but we wish Tua nothing but the best.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the Vikings and the Giants. I know that
your Giants,
your New York Giants.
So Daniel Jones is saying that he's not satisfied with just making the playoffs and that he is here to win this. Do you think that the Giants can upset the Vikings?
I think if any upset's going to take place, I think if we think the Bucks beat the Cowboys, that's not a major upset, right?
No, because it's a tight one.
It's a tight one, right? But if we're talking about the Seahawks, 49ers, the Vikings, the Giants, the Dolphins, the Bills, those monster line games, right? Those kind of heavy underdog games. I think the Giants have the best chance of going to Minnesota and winning. Because the last game they played, right? It was very close. Very close. Yeah. Saquon's there. Daniel Jones is there. Brian Daboll's calling plays. Sarah's boy Kava on the defensive line, right? I think, and I don't trust Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And this game is in prime time.
I know, it's not 1 o'clock.
It's not 1 o'clock.
It's not a 1 o'clock game.
Prime time on Sunday night or Saturday night?
Sunday.
Sunday night. Sunday night football in Minnesota. The Giants versus...
Sorry, no, it's the 4 o'clock on Sunday. Sunday night is the Ravens game.
Sorry, 4 o'clock on Sunday. 4:30 on Sunday. Fox's game of the week.
Yes.
Right? So the crew's going to be there. I think the Vikings are going to lay it. I think Danny Dimes, because it was running okay, but if they...
Vanilla Vic,
Vanilla Vic, yes. Don't remember the name, right? But this is the thing for me. Yeah. If the Giants can get into third downs that are like 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 5, those manageable third downs, with Daniel Jones' running capability and his ability to run the football...
It's a threat.
That's a threat. That's another option they got to worry about. And the Vikings' defense is not very good, and it's something that could be taken advantage of and exploited. And I think the New York Giants are going to beat the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota.
What about you, Jelani?
Damn. So I'm going to disagree. Okay. I think the Vikings I think they feel disrespected. because and
Do they? But,
no,
but
and
they
it's,
deserve it.
it's justified now. It's
yeah.
justified because earlier on in the year I was like, yeah, the Vikings are a good team. Like, watch out. But then as the weeks went on, as the losses came, as a few of their losses, they did not look good. And even some of their wins, they didn't look good. So it's justified, but I think they're disrespected because this is a 13-win team, right? And they do have guys on that offense that could cause issues. We understand who Justin Jefferson is. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, but outside of that 1 p.m. window, can he show up? That is a real question, of course. But I'm looking at Dalvin Cook. I think he's going to have to run the ball well because first game he had, 14 carries, 64 yards. Giants held him.
But Wink Martindale's doing a great job with that Giants defense.
That's true. So that's the question. If he could run the ball, if Cook could, do his thing, then I think the Vikings are fine. And I think they're actually going to win comfortably if they could run the football. But when you're talking about the defense, that's a big question. The defense of Minnesota is not good at all. They're going to have to show up. I just find, though, when you are asking about the upset factor, this is obviously the biggest upset, the chance to be the biggest upset. Why? Because you look across the board, there are either games that are very close, like you mentioned, the Cowboys Bucks, the Chargers Jaguars, and then on the other spectrum, you're looking at possible, blowouts in Buffalo, and possible one if Lamar doesn't play. Then I think Cincy's gonna run all over them, So I think this one, definitely probably the upset of the week.
I'm interested to see exactly how Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins attack that defense because Wink Martindale's gonna throw a whole bunch of blitzes at Kirk Cousins, and if he can't handle that well, it's gonna be a major key in this game.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, Bill Belichick is going to return as a coach for the Patriots in 2023, but he won't commit to quarterback Mac Jones.
My guy.
Why would you commit to Mac Jones? Why would you commit to him? What indication out there, ladies and gentlemen, what has Mac Jones proven to do in the NFL that you want to commit to him long term? You see guys, Zach Wilson, after their second year, garbage, right? Trash. Get out of the league, right? You see these guys, if they don't develop, Zach Wilson might be in the CFL next year.
So why are you calling him garbage then,
I didn't say anything bad with the CFL. I'm not saying anything bad about the CFL.
Okay.
Relax. I'm saying he's going to be in the CFL next year. And he might not be lasting in the CFL that long because the game's totally different. Shout out to the Canadian Football League. Anyway. Argos. Defending Grey Cup champs. Anyway, the NFL is not a wait for it league. It's a prove it for me right now league, right? Yeah. It's what does the NFL stand for? Not for long. If you don't come up big when it matters the most and play well, teams will get rid of you. And Mac Jones, again, he was a late round, first round pick, doesn't make a whole lot of money, right? They could probably do something different. And the Patriots, what are they about? What's Robert Kraft about? Winning chips. He hangs with all the rappers, the ballers, the superstars, and all that. He wants to, keep on getting Super Bowl rings and winning and staying relevant, not falling into a rebuild and becoming irrelevant.
And Belichick is also talking briefly about having Joe Judge and Matt Patricia back.
Yeah, let me talk about that, please. You talked about Mac Jones, okay? His numbers have gone down. The QBR.
I know he's your boy from Alabama.
That's why I have to defend him in a way, okay? The TD interception ratio, we understand they've gone down. But what happened this season? When they made the playoffs, they had an OC in the door that actually knew what was going on.
You don't even like Josh McDaniels.
I hate. Look, as a head coach, head coach, Josh McDaniels is a fraud. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, not sorry, actually. But as an OC, he's good. Okay, you get it. He leaves. Now what happens? You're gonna tell me Joe Judge, Mr. Offensive Consultants or whatever they're calling it over there. Remember, the NYPD is still looking out for this guy because of what he did in New York.
Robbed the Giants of money.
Okay, NYPD's still searching for that man, and don't get me started on Matt Patricia now. Okay, as the senior offensive consultant or whatever they want to call him. Okay, he is still being hunted down by Lions in Detroit for what he did with the Detroit Lions. Okay, and these guys are in charge of that offense. Really? That's what Bill Belichick. That's him as well, saying, you know what? I don't need an OC this year. We're just gonna run out with no talent and give it to Mac Jones. It's not all on Mac Jones. When you're talking about the lack of talent, Kendrick Bourne, he's okay. He's pretty good. He's like their best weapon. Okay, Jacoby Myers, no. Hunter Henry, no. Like they first of all, you have to surround him with talent. Okay, we saw what he could do with some talent around him, and you need an OC, a real true offensive coordinator. These guys are defensive coordinators and special teams guys that are working with Mac Jones. No wonder his game took a a step
Regression.
back. Yeah, a regression.
Linear
this season.
regression.
So that's the problem. That's the problem. It's not all on Mac. It's not.
How do you feel about the coaches?
I mean, Bill Belichick is in New England. He's gonna be there forever. Those are his guys.
Yeah.
He controls the organization like that. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's up to Bill Belichick to change the course, to change the dialogue. Yeah. And Tom Brady has won the divorce.
Of course, I said that as soon as he signed with the Bucs, and he's gonna prove that he's actually the winner in this relationship.
He's the winner of the divorce. Yeah,
he is.
Do you think Bill Belichick will ever retire soon?
No,
I don't think so.
He's gonna cut hoodies off every year until he can't cut off hoodies anymore.
Yeah, that's a reference to the fact that he always wears hoodies with no sleeves. Yes. By the way,
big fashion right there.
Big fashion statement. And that's all for today. Thank you for joining us on Homestand NFL. See you guys next time.